there, welcome to the show. Tuesday the 11th of October. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, we're here with the real Black Swan, Monica Lockman. So if Natalie Portman is watching and if she thinks ballet is all about flapping her arms all over the place, then this lady is going to set her straight.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. Myself right up.
Monica, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're not a huge fan of the movie, though.
No, you know, I don't mind the movie because it promotes ballet, but it's not a very true-to-life movie. So, but I'm sure, like journalists, the way you guys are portrayed in the media is not very
Have you ever seen
true-to-life.
Morning Glory, that movie?
No.
About breakfast TV and stuff like that, and how the two of them don't really get on and they fight
It
all
is,
the time.
yeah.
And the female has a huge ego. Very, very similar
It's the opposite
movie.
here.
No, the man had the bigger ego, actually, because I've seen that movie three times.
But it depends which way you look at the movie, right?
She was...
For a fellow who didn't like sports when he was young, he didn't do too bad.
Yeah, myself and Monica were just talking about that
You
movie.
were glued to it. He was actually
No.
voted the sexiest man in the world at one stage,
He's an
Monica.
attractive man, but
We're not a bit interested.
Yeah.
yeah, not so much.
What, you're not interested in the movie now, or him being the most attractive man?
Just
neither really.
neither.
Yeah, you kind of get past that.
Jeez.
It just, it's that kind of film. I can't get it. And you're the same,
Yeah.
as we were talking about. We just can't get into it.
Yeah.
But we were
It's
saying that
needless.
Sugar Ray Leonard choreographed the boxing fight scenes. Do you ever get asked to choreograph dance?
I do for kind of musical theatre and a little bit of theatre, but you know, as I said, if God came down and choreographed that, I still wouldn't want to watch it.
See?
Are you working on Jedward's new show?
I am, yeah.
Which they're rehearsing here in RTE at
Yeah,
the
you
moment.
can hear
And
them
all
on the
I'm saying
screens.
is madness.
Madness.
All
It's
around
insane.
the studio.
Yeah.
Jedward
It's
dancing.
brilliant, though.
They're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
They were on the show
yeah,
last
it's
year.
great for
So,
the-
but
for the
what
kids.
are you doing with them for the show?
Oh, I can't say.
Oh, come on.
I actually can't say. It's a surprise, but it's a really good surprise. It's all done and dusted, so I just turn up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Michael is going to be here tomorrow on the show with us here on the Daily Show, and he's going to give us the real verdict, whether he liked Hugh Jackman or the movie. Because Claire and Monica don't like, but Michael will be here definitely tomorrow. That's real steel, and he's
Our next guest is the real Black Swan of ballet, having shown great determination to get where she is today.
At the age of 14, she moved to Russia, where she had to catch up on 5 years of training in just one, which she did.
Someone said a year ago about me, "Oh, she's very ambitious." Of course I'm ambitious. I've spent so much of my life in Russia. I've, you know, spent so little time with my family. Now I have to prove that I did it for a reason. You know, that I was over there for all those years and I can bring something back to this country.
Monica, you certainly brought something back to the country.
Myself.
Did you have to sacrifice a lot? I'd imagine so.
I did. Well, mainly it was just not being with my family. Although I didn't understand it at the time, I understand that now, that I missed out in all those years. So
You were only a child. You were 14.
I know. I really don't know. Like, I know the reason they sent me off was because my dad was in the Air Corps and he kind of saw the benefit to it. But I don't think... And I know I didn't think that I would ever make a career out of it. It was like, let's go and let's see what happens, you know.
Yeah. It must have been kind of exciting as well, 14 years of age, right? I'm off to Russia.
It was more scary.
Terrifying.
Coming up to the time of the flight and like packing the bag. The bag was 60 kilos. I myself weighed 45. You know, so the bag was bigger than I was. But coming up to the time, I realised what I got myself into, but I wasn't going to say no. I wasn't going to not go. Like, it was a huge opportunity.
What did your friends, like you were only after leaving primary school,
I was just
by
in
2 years,
secondary,
just in second. What did your friends think of you heading off?
They all thought I was nuts, and one of the teachers in the school, my science teacher, because I had a particular flair for science, she thought I was bonkers. But I said to her, you know, I'll keep up my study, and if I come back, I will, you know, I'll go back in and I'll throw myself back into work. You know, it's kind of like a year off, but just a little bit earlier than most, you know.
Yeah.
And did you keep up your study?
I did, yeah, I did the equivalent of my leaving through Russian. It was very difficult.
Wow.
And did you have any Russian before you left?
No, I had
Not at all?
nothing. I had like hello, which is not an easy word to say, and no, I had no Russian. No.
How were you treated as a young Irish girl in Russia?
Well, by the Russians, we were slightly ridiculed, but I don't think they meant it deliberately. One, they were all young people, so anybody that's out of the loop or out of, you know, not the norm is laughed at, and we were openly laughed at. And they used to open the door when we were training, and you know, the boys and girls you could hear them laughing. You could hear them laughing outside the door. We were an absolute joke to them. And that was very, very difficult, you know, as a 14-year-old. And the other Irish, they were 14, 15, 16 and 17. It was hard.
Yeah. Because, say it's one thing, say, unfortunately it happens in a lot of schools around the country where you know, people are picked on and they're bullied, I suppose. And in one sense, they can go home to their mum and dad or their older brothers and sisters and get comfort there. But you're in a different country. You're 14 years of age, and who would you have went to at the time about this, or did you just have to deal with it?
I didn't go anywhere. What I used to do was I used to try to confide in the other Irish girls, but they themselves were in the same situation. Or I was just this annoying little thing that, you know, just kept buzzing in and out of the rooms. So I worked it out myself. I went into the studio, I used to stretch, I used to work really hard, and that was the only way I could deal with it. And I dealt with it by being better than them and by saying they're just never going to laugh at me. And I knew why they were laughing, and I knew it wasn't because I was dreadful at what I was doing. I knew it was because I was different. But still, you know, there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. You know, even at such a young age, I knew the difference. You know, and I wonder now how I knew the difference, but I did.
Because it's kind of strange, say, no matter whether it's football, soccer, you know, ballet or playing music, when you're 14 or 15, being different is bad, but what you don't realise then is when you're 20, 21, that different is actually
it's
good.
where you want to be.
It's the thing that makes you different from everybody else, and that's why people would want you.
Well, one of my students, her parents came up to me and said she was being bullied in school, and this was happening to me as well before I left for Russia, so I was kind of well geared up for in Russia. And I just sat her down and I said, listen, you know, they're going to laugh. You know, all I can say is, if I was to give advice, is have a few good phrases ready to get rid of them. You know, maybe rehearse them with your parents. Just a few things, like very sharp, not rude, just very, you know, I'm too busy for you now, off you pop. Something like that. I wish I had have had somebody to kind of tell me these things, and that was the advice I gave her. And I said, you know, these people that are laughing at you are probably going to be in the same place in 20 years' time, where God only knows where you will be.
What are you like as a teacher? Because you have your own school now, of course.
Yeah, I'm tough but fair. But I'm quite tough. I am tough. You know, they're all great kids. I treat them as adults. I tell them, do they want to know the truth? Do they want me to be very blunt with them? And I'm very blunt. But if I'm turning around and saying, you know, that's a particularly bad move, you look particularly awful, I will come up with a way to fix it, a remedy. I won't just go, you know, get out of my way. You don't know what you're doing. I'll say, this is bad, let's try it this way. And then they can, you know, that's the way you earn their trust.
Have you any stars, do you think?
I do, yes, I definitely do.
Really?
Yeah, some really, really, really good talent.
So what do you have to send them off to Russia? Like,
no, I don't think so. No, I'm going to try to keep and train them myself. And if there is anything that anybody I think that, you know, is going to go and make it, I will. You know, I've links and connections in Russia, and if they want to go, by all means, the doors are open for them.
Because we were chatting earlier on, and you were saying that's one of the kind of big things that drives you, that you know what it's like to be away from your family all the time. So by setting up a huge school here in Ireland, you've got to keep the Irish kids in Ireland so they don't have to go through that. Exactly.
I think it's crucial that we keep them here. I think we have the talent in this country, not just in ballet, but in every sphere. We need to train them here. We need to keep the money in the country. We need to keep our own children, our own future in this country, not like whereas before a mass exodus from the island. We need to keep them here. We have the talent here, we have the teachers here, we have the will, we have the ability. Let's train them here and let's give them somewhere to go. You know, that's what I'm trying to do, is get them to professional level.
You were involved in Ballet Chancellors, which lots of people will remember, the programme on RTE, but you found a couple of stars there.
Yeah, you know, they were really good. The girls were, you know, of course they were a little bit too late, and, you know, maybe body-wise they didn't suit ballet, but they actually were very good. Ian, that's Ian there actually now, that's Matthew. Ian just took to it very, very well, and he went on to continue to do dance. So that's what he does. That's his everyday career now. He's 17, I think he's 17, 18, there he is again. And Don is a full-time hip-hop teacher now, Don King. He's amazing. Yeah.
And are you dancing with some of them in the Nutcracker?
Yeah, I've invited them to come back and dance with my company, and they jumped at the opportunity, because for them, you know, I think ballet is one of the highest forms of dance, and if you can kind of master that to some degree, well, then your kudos goes up. And, you know, and I think with the hip-hop and with the ballet, I think maybe in their spheres they became better known that they, you know, try it. They try it.
The Nutcracker is coming up. Where can people see it?
Yeah, the Nutcracker is in the Helix on Thursday the 3rd of November, and it's in Galway on the 4th and 5th. And I'm bringing 2 stars of the Bolshoi Theatre over to dance.
Wow.
And then there's a little element of hip-hop in there for a bit of a surprise, which will definitely surprise people. And yeah, I'm pushing this, I'm pushing the company hopefully now to professional level in the future.
Great.
Cool, Monica, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
Great
so much.
to see you. Dates for Monica's production of the Nutcracker are also available on our website, so you can have a look there.